the Voortrekker Monument, located in South Africa in the northern province of Pretoria. Taking 12 years to complete from 1937 to 1949, this tall, imposing structure was built to honor the civilization known as the Voortrekkers, in addition to their journey across South Africa and the decisive battles that they had with local African tribes as they fought each other for land. The Voortrekkers' history goes back to the 1830s, when the Dutch-speaking colonists initially based in Cape Colony became dissatisfied with how their British counterparts treated them. Wanting to be independent and free, along with having their own kingdom, these settlers set out from their hometowns in 1835, eager to start a new life somewhere free of British law. Being farmers and not exactly having a lot of possessions, they managed to take most or all of their material with them as they began to travel to find new lands. Their journey to begin their own republic would later be known as the Great Trek. Their endurance and strong will still remembered by white South Africans of how they came to be in their modern society. Being an important part in white South Africans' nationalism, the Great Trek is displayed with honor and dignity on the walls of the Voortrekker Monument, being part of one of the largest wall sculptures in the world and the biggest mural frieze worldwide. Other displays that are put on these friezes include the Voortrekkers' everyday life, working system, and religious beliefs. On the outside of the monument stands a statue of a woman, and above her are 4 wildebeest, which symbolizes the threats from nature that the Voortrekkers faced on their trip.
The Voortrekker Monument was designed by Gerard Mordier and was built in order to commemorate 1. The Battle of Blood River, and 2. The Voortrekkers who died during the Great Trek. On the exterior, the Voortrekker Monument is 40 meters tall, with the 40 by 40 square meter base. It was built on the basis of a simple rectangular structure and very much looks like some of the structures found in Europe. There are also 4 sculptures on each corner of the monument, representing the leaders of the Voortrekkers: Piet Retief, Andreas Pretorius, Hendrik Poortgeester, and the 4th unknown leader. In the center of the monument is a cenotaph, which represents the Battle of Blood River and all the Voortrekkers who died during the Great Trek. Each year, on December 16th, the day of the battle, the sun shines on the tomb and words are illuminated. The words are, Ons vir jou, Suid-Afrika, which in English translates to, We for thee, South Africa. The ray that shines on the tomb represents God's blessing on the hard-working Voortrekkers. Inside the monument also contains a wall sculpture that is among the biggest of the world. It tells the story of the Great Trek that the Voortrekkers went through and gives insight on their belief, time, clothes, education, and more. The outer wall of the monument represents the defensive formation the Voortrekkers formed during the battle, commemorating the Voortrekkers' victory against the Zulu natives.
The Voortrekkers took a long trip from home to settle into their new homes. Unlike what many expected to be peaceful, the Great Trek was a massive disruption within South Africa, destroying the lives of hundreds of thousands of local people. When the Voortrekkers initially settled in their new region, they needed land, so they took it forcefully and killed the local Zulus. Because the Voortrekkers were farmers and farmers needed land, when the Zulus heard about white men invading upon African territory, they responded by killing one of the Voortrekkers' leaders, Piet Retief. A few days later, the Voortrekkers found out their leader, Piet Retief, had been killed. This would lead to a conflict, and later known as the Battle of the Blood River. The Zulus had paid revenge on the Voortrekkers and were leading an army to destroy their brutal enemy. However, although the Zulus were one of the more effective fighting forces in South Africa, the Voortrekkers dominated with their more advanced weaponry and firepower, including rifles, muskets, and even cannons, while the Zulus were only equipped with their traditional spears. Although Voortrekkers were vastly outnumbered, their advanced weapons and tactical defense resulted in over 3,000 Zulus dead and only 3 of their own wounded, shocking the Zulus military. After this battle, it gave white Africans a feeling to be proud of their heritage, showing their capability to hold their own against a much larger enemy. It was because of this battle that the Voortrekkers made a promise to God that if he had helped them win, they would build a church and forever honor him. This is still known as the Day of the Vow in South Africa,